mad at you.
And I don't have a charger from the keyboard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call to order the Finance Committee meeting for the Ascension Parish Council for April the 5th, 2021. I'd like to call on Mr. Councilman Corey Orgeron to lead us in an invocation followed by the pledge. Please rise.
Good evening, everyone. Just prepare yourselves as you would for prayer. Oh Lord, as we celebrate this Easter Monday and your resurrection yesterday, it brings us to mind that there's always a new hope and a new blessing for a new day, and we've all received that today. Lord, we're thankful for the graces that you've bestowed upon us, and we're thankful for the fellowship and the friends that we have here this evening. Lord, guide us as we do the work of the people, your people, and as we move forward as your ambassadors in Christ. With that, in the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Orgeron.
Thank you.
Roll call, Madam Secretary, we have Councilman Joel Robert is absent, Councilman Chase Melanson, Councilman Dow Wagasback, Councilman Aaron Lawler, is that it?
Dempsey.
And Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Make a note, please, but we do have a quorum, so we're going to proceed. There are no chairs additions, and under the public comment period, if anyone has a comment to make on an agenda item, please get a card, fill it out, present it to the secretary, and we'll call you when that item comes up on the agenda. Item 5, general business. A, Ascension Council on Aging Annual Financial Report. Ms. Darlene Scheck-Snyder with the Ascension Council on Aging. She is the Executive Director. Good evening, Darlene. Welcome. It's always good to see you.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you all for allowing me to be here tonight. I will be brief. As you all know, COVID-19 forced the closure of our senior centers on March 13th, 2020 to protect the vulnerable population we serve. All of our congregate meal participants were immediately moved to home-delivered meals. Our staff is considered essential due to our transportation and meal programs. We closed completely for a few weeks due to staff COVID exposure, and meals were delivered by a third party. In fiscal year 2020, we served 156,781 meals, both in the centers and to the homes of our seniors. The fiscal year ending June 30th, we are on target to deliver 164,434 meals to around 568 homes, and we have 54 clients picking up meals at the senior center. Sorry, I'm having trouble with this mask.
You can take
It's
it
okay?
off when you're at the
Okay.
mic. Thank you.
Transportation services resumed in May 2020 to medical appointments only, and in October 2020, the other trips were added, but we have not returned to pre-COVID levels. We resumed PCA and homemaker services in October 2020, but some seniors are still not comfortable having workers in their homes. Our staff has been conducting different contests and giveaways to help keep our clients engaged during this closure. Staff are doing telephone visits with clients to ascertain needs and to determine how those needs can be met. Also, talks about reopening senior centers have begun with LDH, GOEA, and the governor's office, but we do not have a date as to when that will happen. Approximately 80% of our senior clients have received their vaccinations. Hopefully, those numbers will continue to rise. The new wellness center is almost complete, and we will partner with public health to have educational programs, exercise programs, blood pressure and blood sugar checks for the 60-plus population. It will open once we can reopen the senior centers. You received a copy of our fiscal year 2020 audit report, the FY 2021 budget revision, and FY 2022 budget you received will be presented for approval to our Board of Directors in 2 weeks at our next meeting. We still have approximately $350,000 to $375,000 in capital outlay projects to complete before fiscal year end. Please call me with questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that report. Any questions from any of the council members?
No, she covered it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Okay, moving along to item 5B, approval to authorize Parish President Clint Quintmont to retain the services of 360 Industries to provide strategic risk management and contract impact analysis services to the parish on an as-needed basis, contract not to exceed $45,000. Councilman Orgeron, Councilman Lawler, Councilman Thomas, and Councilman Lambert. Councilman Orgeron, please take the lead on this.
Thank you, Chair. As you can see from lower in our agenda, our parish gets hit often with change orders in production and different projects that we're doing. And today is no different. I think we've got 3 or 4 change orders where there's going to be an increase in the cost of the contract, although I see one is a $300,000 decrease. So obviously, we're not going to object to that one. The 360 Industries provides service that's going to analyze these change orders and then advise the parish president and administration as to whether or not these change orders are valid and whether or not we should pay the difference, or if there's another party that we can point the finger to, they should cover those costs. And I've been in conference with CAO, Mr. John Diaz. We've talked about this probably since the latter part of December, I would guess, and looks like the administration's on board with this, as well as several members of the council who see this as a need. So
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Motion from Councilwoman Cazo, second from Councilman Mason. Any discussion? Any other questions? Any of you? There being none, the motion carries.
Good.
Thank you. Item C, amendment number 1, Hartman Consultants LLC for additional amount of $3,980 for the appraisal of ACUD2 wastewater infrastructure and assets. Ken Dawson. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Finance Committee. This increase for $3,000 some odd dollars was due to the appraisal that was done on the assets on the West Bank. A couple of things were done. We had 3 appraisers, one for the council, one for the administration, and we also had a land appraiser that had to go in and look at all the land assets. The land appraiser, which was a local person, but it took a little longer, to get that information to them. This appraiser had to use extra time in order to evaluate the land, to complete his documentation. And also, we kind of scrunched the time down on him a little bit more to try to get it to a little faster. So this is just an increase that he's requesting for the work that was performed.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Coach, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion? Any other questions? Any objection? Motion carries.
Thank
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you coming out. Item D, renewal of contract for medical services with Ty Gotro to provide medical services as a nurse practitioner to the inmates at the Ascension Parish Jail
So moved.
for a month.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Cazo, second by
second.
Councilman Ogeron. Any objections? Any further questions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item E. I gotta get my P's and Q's right, John?
Right now.
Certificate of
Look,
substantial
if you-
completion.
If you can do better than I did last week, please.
I'm making a big mark across all the items as I go. Certificate of substantial completion for ArcSmart, Lamar Dixon Expo Center, Lake Solar Lighting Repairs. Dean Thomason, welcome, Dean. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Motion.
Motion by Coach,
Second.
second by Councilman Ogeron. Any questions, any further discussion? Any objection? So ordered. Item F. Change order number 2 to the master contract for Council on Aging Wellness Center project with Acadian Commercial Contractors for additional materials and days due to the weather and COVID delays in the amount of $6,130.21 and an additional 30 days. New contract amount is $730,430.21 and new substantial completion date of April 6, 2021.
Motion.
Motion.
Coach.
Motion by Coach, second by Councilman Mason. Any questions?
I got a
Councilman
question.
Orgeron.
They're gonna be done tomorrow?
We're doing the final walk in the morning.
Are we really? Well,
Yep.
good. This additional $6,000, you heard earlier, we just retained a firm that's gonna help us review change orders and stuff.
I understand. And this $6,000 is basically just material increases since, everything's going up.
Right?
Cost of steel, cost of wood. Basically all materials is going up. And, we shared the cost with them. Basically.
In this particular contract, we shared the cost of the materials in their bid?
Yes.
We do?
No.
Just this.
The additional cost. We split it.
Okay. Is that normal for us to split those?
No, normally we pay all of it because it's additional cost to the contractor. But
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks, Dean. You answered my questions.
Any other question? Coach,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Mr. Dean, it seems as though things just hadn't been the same since COVID, and that's understandable. It's up and down, and you pretty much don't know what you really gonna get at the end of the project.
to a certain circumstance we do, but yeah, material wise, we go in, they bid, and depending on the process and the time
Time limit,
that
right?
it gets to giving them a contract, if they can lock their price down in a certain period of time, then that's their price. But whenever they have to get additional materials or it gets outside of that time frame, then we're subject to increase.
Price change. Prices change.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other discussion? Any objection to the motion? Motion carries. Thank you, Dean. Going on to item G. Change order number 1 to the master contract for the animal shelter renovations project with BRP Construction LLC for additional costs due to increase in steel prices and removal of existing kennels. Total amount of $16,422.89 for a total contract amount of $307,411.78. Dean, again.
Motion.
Motion by Coach,
Second.
second by Councilman Mason. Any questions? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Folks, I'll just mention that I've spoken to contractors I know that are building homes, commercial contractors that are building strip malls. Steel is going through the roof. Lumber, when you can get it, is almost double, is what they're telling me. It is just, it's unbelievable what COVID has done. It's put a shortage, it's put everybody behind in production. So I guess we can anticipate some of this the rest of this year, and hopefully it won't get too bad. Item H, certificate of substantial completion, Delcon Ascension Parish Jail Sewer Processing Facility. Dean?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Coach, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any questions? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. I, change order number 1, Lincoln Builders, Lamar Dixon Expo Center Gym Expansion. Decrease in the amount of $300,000.
Motion.
Motion by
You're not gonna let Travis make the motion?
Second by, second by Councilman Mason.
I was gonna let Travis make the motion. This is his baby.
Any question? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Dean.
Item J, professional services contract with General Informatics for IT support for Fire District Number 3, not to exceed $30,000.
Motion.
Carpenter Fire. Oh, Mr.
Second.
Stewart, Mark Stewart's gonna be here.
Oh.
Motion by Councilman Ogeron,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Cazo. Discussion. Mark, you have something you need to say, or?
No, it's just an ongoing contract we've had with them for some time. They've transitioned through a few different owners. It's General Informatics now, but it's the same contract we've had for some time.
Okay.
Perfect.
Any
Thank you.
question? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Thank you for coming.
Thank
Mark.
you.
Appreciate it. Item K, certificate of substantial completion, McGlynn Construction, Fire District Number 3, Station 30.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Mason, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion, any questions? There being none, that motion carries.
Thank you
Item
very
K.
much, Mr. Chairman and members.
Thank you, Mark. Certificate of substantial completion, I got that one, I'm sorry.
L.
Item L. I told you, Terry, it would happen. This was L and M and K and L instead of P's and Q's, John.
Wait till we get to O and P.
There's an O, no P. And no Q, thank goodness. Item L, agreement for professional services with Henderson Auctions for the auction of parish vehicles, equipment declared surplus.
Motion.
Ms. J.
Second.
Motion by
I need to introduce
Councilwoman
the
Cazo.
document.
Motion by Councilwoman Cazo, second by Councilman Mason.
Hey.
Jade, go right ahead.
At this time, we have a 3-year contract with Henderson Auction. So going back and looking at a contract, we still have a month left, and the contract that we sent in allowed for 10% parish paying. Their contract states 7.48. So through negotiations, they agreed to go back to the 7.48. But when continued negotiations, due to some of the other ways parishes are doing business, they offered Ascension a 0% for the parish and 10% for the buyer. So we have an A and a B. It would be up to you to take A or B. B, I find to be the better option,
Yeah.
0% to the taxpayer, and let the buyer pay it on the backside.
Certainly.
Motion to take option B.
Motion to
Second.
take option B by Councilman Mason.
Second.
Second by Councilman Ogeron. Any questions? Any discussion? There being
Thank you.
none,
Thank you, Jay.
that motion carries. Thank you, Jade. Item M, amendment to number 3 to the master contract between All South Consulting Engineers and Ascension Parish for grants management and disaster recovery
Motion.
project management.
Second.
Motion by Coach,
Second.
second by Corey's waving 2 fingers at me, so I'm gonna give it to him.
Doesn't
Any
matter.
questions? Any discussions? There being none, that motion carries. Thank y'all, appreciate it. Item N, site sponsorship agreement between Trash Rangers of Louisiana Commercial LLC and the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Kyle Rogers.
Thank you guys for being here.
Good.
So this is our trash removal for our property. We sat down with these guys, we talked to them. We had Republic Services for the last few years, and what we found was it's a lot easier when you're dealing with somebody that's here locally, in-state, that can get things moving quick. It's really hard when you call a company that's in Minnesota and you have to explain to them that you can't let crawfish holes sit in a dumpster for a week. They need to be pulled. But no, this is a great contract. Trash Rangers is donating to us six-yard dumpsters for our RV lots to be pulled twice a week and no charge. And then we're going to pay for, as we typically do, our 30-yard roll-offs for our event trash.
I think this is too, we're getting into these sponsorship agreements where as long as they can put their logo on the equipment,
Correct.
they're just gonna charge us for the service for the
That's
most
it.
part.
That's it. It's
Excellent.
about a $13,000 annual value in sponsorship.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Mason, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any questions? Any
Oh, I
further
got
discussion?
questions for Mr. Rogers.
I'm not under oath.
Nah, just joking.
Okay.
We're good with that.
There being none, motion carries. Thank you so much, Kyle. Item O, the monthly contract report. Sandra's not here, but it's in your packet, and we have started that, asking you to read through the contracts. She puts the new contracts first and the renewals. And certainly, if there are any questions, feel free to contact her or anyone in finance, and they'll give you an answer on that. Item 6, financial reports. Review of the 2021 millage ordinance. Gwen LeBlanc. Welcome, Gwen. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Each year, the council is required by law to adopt the millage rate for the current year. And in 2020, we had 4 successful elections to renew millages with the library, West Ascension Drainage, Mental Health, and one of Fire District number 3s, and they all passed. And then also, we added to the ordinance 4 more road infrastructure districts. And then you also had a little booklet that just provided some information for you, especially some of the new ones. It contains information like when is the next reassessment, and that will be in 2024. And they would list all of our taxing districts, and they would we also have in there when they expire. And then there's several facts about our millages and the laws that we have to comply with each year, and that is also in there. So it's just an informational booklet to give you a little bit more information if you need it. And if you need to ask me any questions, I'd be glad to answer them here or later.
Anybody have any questions tonight for Ms. Gwynn? Thank you much.
And then we're also requesting that the ordinance go on the next council meeting.
Okay, so I need a motion for the
Motion.
recommendation to the full
Motion.
council.
Second.
Motion to recommend.
Motion by
to move to
Councilman
full
Mason,
council.
second by Councilman Ogeron, to recommend approval to the full council. Any questions? Any further discussion? That motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Gwynn. Okay, item B, budget amendment number 4, approval to amend 2021 budget. Ms. Dawn Cavalera.
Good
Thank you,
evening.
Dawn.
You have before you the ordinance for budget amendment number 4, which reads as follows. An ordinance to amend the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2021 operating and capital budgets for the parish of Ascension adopted by the Ascension Parish Council on the 19th day of November 2020. Section 1. The Ascension Parish Council hereby ordains that the ordinance approving, adopting, and appropriating the 2021 operating and capital budgets for the parish of Ascension is hereby amended, approved, and appropriated as follows. Operating budget, Recreation Fund, to replace funds for the Santa Maria Recreation Center, expenditures and other financing uses. Transfers out, Park Construction Fund, $200,000. Maintenance Fund for the Human Resources and OEP office renovations, expenditures and other financing uses. Transfers out, Office Building Construction Fund, $500,000. Capital Budget, Office Building Construction Fund for the Human Resources and OEP office renovations, revenues and other financing sources, transfers in, Maintenance Fund, $500,000, expenditures and other financing uses, contract payments, non-capital, $500,000. Park Construction Fund, replace funds for the Santa Maria Recreation Center, revenues and other financing sources, transfers in, Recreation Fund, $200,000, expenditures and other financing uses, contract payments, capital, $200,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Castle to approve, second by Councilman Mason. Any discussions? Any other questions? That motion carries. Thank you, Dawn, we appreciate it. Item C, revenue and expenditure report. Miss Amanda, she's gonna hit some highlights and then, questions can be brought up later. Thank you.
Good evening. Before you, the financial reports for the month of February, which reflects 16.67% of the year. First page is a revenue chart that reflects year-to-date comparison of February 2020 actual to February 2021 actual and to the 2021 budget. Total revenue for operating funds are at 13.14%. Capital funds are at 7.98% at 16.67% of the year. Revenues are currently on track with the 2021 budget at this time of the year. Most funds that appear under the budget by 5% or more are funds whereby collections are reported 1 month behind. And the 12th month is not reported until we close out the year. Some example of those revenues are sales taxes, fines and forfeitures, sewer user fees, and water revenues. They are all reported 1 month behind on the report. Also, they have some funds that are under the budget because of transfers that are not made yet, and interest allocations. Page 2 is an expenditure chart that reflects year-to-date comparison of February 2020 actual to February 2021 actuals. Page 3 is an expenditure chart that reflects year-to-date comparison of February 2021 actual plus encumbrances to the 2021 budget. Total expenditures for operating funds are at 16.80%. Capital project funds are at 12.49%, and again at 16.67% of the year. Expenditures are currently in line where they should be at this time of the year. Most of the funds that appear to be over the budget by 5% or more are funds whereby encumbrances in the form of a purchase order or contract have been issued for the full year. Page 4 reflects the cash and investment position of the parish as of February 2021 compared to February 2020 in total and by restricted and unrestricted. The total for February 2021 is $281,624,953, of which $249,785,212 is restricted and $31,839,741 is unrestricted. Compared to February 2020, total of $288,117,978 with $257,555,677 being restricted, $30,562,300 unrestricted. At the bottom of that page is a chart comparing the total restricted and unrestricted cash and investments for 2020 and 2021 as of February. The report also reflects the breakdown between restricted and unrestricted for 2021 and gives a listing of the funds associated with each. And on page 5 is a pie chart showing each and the percent total of cash and the percent total of cash. Page 6 through 9 is just your detailed reports for your review.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll be
Any
happy
questions,
to answer.
anyone? Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate the report. Moving along, item D. Bid quote items. To accept the lowest responsive bid as follows. Ms. Cynthia, welcome.
Good evening.
Good to have you here.
On February 22nd, the purchasing department received 6 proposals for requests for proposals for overnight security service for Lamar Dixon Expo Center. After review, the non-engineering selected committee and Lamar Dixon recommends accepting the highest score response to RFP submitted by Merchant Security Service Guards. Also, to authorize the parish president to begin contract negotiations for these services.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Cazo, second by Councilman Mason to approve. Any questions? Any discussion? I'd like to just point out that I spoke to Kyle about this, and this is some security that's going to be 24/7 from 4:30 p.m. to 8 in the morning for the buildings, just to have security out there that we haven't had in the past, okay? It's a deterrent security. But got a motion, second. Any further discussions? Any objections? There being none, that motion carries. Item 2, request for contract services to remove and replace shingle roof on mental health office building. Quote request.
Three quotes were received on this request. It is the recommendation of Stephen Hardy. The recommendation of Stephen Hardy in purchasing to to award the lowest quote to Premier Service Team as per legal contract and to authorize the parish president to begin contract negotiation for these services.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mason,
Second.
second by Councilman Orgeron. Any questions? Any further discussion? Any objection? The motion carries. Item 3, request for contract services to remove and haul off 1,609 feet of old fencing and replaced with new fencing, central fence and gates.
Ricky Compton will be speaking on this one.
Okay, great.
Welcome, Ricky. How are you this evening?
Good, thank you. So, we quoted this in January, and since then, steel costs have gone up. So today, when I saw the item on the agenda, I reached out to the vendor and asked if his quote was still good. He said no. So he resent the bid, and it was, I don't have the number in front of me, approximately 3,000 more. So I compared that to the other quotes, and this is still the low bid. So we want to accept the low bid at, and I don't have the number, Miss Cynthia. 39,900, it's less than 40,000. So we would like to accept that so we can get that project moving.
Motion.
So we're amending the amount of the bid to 49,900?
No, 39,900.
I'm sorry, 39,900. Okay.
Second.
$39,900.
Okay. I got a motion to accept the bid of 39,900 from Central Fence and Gates.
So I had the second.
I'm sorry, who had the motion?
I had the motion.
Motion by Coach, second by
Okay.
Councilwoman Cazo. Any questions? Any other discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Okay, item 4. Mechanical fabrication services at the Marvin Bro Pump Station. A-Bear Steel, $54,789.
Yes, sir. On March 23rd, 2021, the purchasing department received 3 quotes for the mechanical fabrication services Marvin Bro Pumping Station. The project number is PM-20-06-008. After review, the purchasing department and the East Ascension Drainage Department recommends accepting the lowest responsible quote submitted by A-Bell Steel Company Incorporated, and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this project.
Okay, before I get a motion, I'll explain. I checked into this and talked to Ron Savoy. This is for platforms and catwalks per design, drawings, and specifications. So it's a improved walkway and ways to get around, correct, Mr. President? Okay. I had a motion by Councilman Robert, second by Coach. Any other discussion? Any questions? Any objection? There being none, the motion carries. Item 5, dual aluminum workboat, approximately 1 unit, bid, Crucial Incorporated, $120,950.
Okay. On March 17th, 2021, the purchasing department received 1 bid for the new all-aluminum workboat, approximately 1 unit. After review, the purchasing department and the fleet department recommends accepting the lowest responsive bid submitted by Crucial Incorporated, and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this equipment.
Motion.
Okay, I have a comment on that as well. I talked to Ron. Ron sent a video. I think it went to all of you.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. They actually went out and tested a model similar to the one we were purchasing. It's got like a front-end loader with a grapple. It can claw and move stuff. And we're gonna use, and a crane in the back with a saw, and it'll remove debris from trestles, from bridge abutments and all that kind of stuff. It will drastically improve drainage in some key locations throughout the parish. It's gonna be a phenomenal piece of equipment.
He also said they're going to use it to clean up big pieces of litter too. They're in the river as well.
Yeah, some
That's
letter,
massive.
refrigerators,
Exactly,
stuff like
refrigerators,
that.
stuff like that.
Mr. President, you have any comments on this, or I saw you walk up?
Thank you, Chairman. I don't know if any of y'all recall the the Summerfield issue with the trash backing up. This is where, prime example, where this machine with front load basket, it just provides not only a more efficient, but a safer operations for our employees. So, it's a good piece of equipment.
Councilwoman Cazo.
Yes, in my conversation with Ron today, he explained this piece of equipment. I was certainly impressed. The thing that I asked him, and that I'll reiterate to you, is that, anytime you get a new toy, everybody loves it. And so I would strongly suggest that we be very careful how many exhibitions we go out on. And unless, of course, I need to go. But
Love to have
kidding,
you.
of course.
Love to have you on the field trips.
Yeah, but, this is not the kind of piece of equipment that we want everybody joyriding in. So I hope that we'll have some good, firm guidelines around the utilization of this piece of equipment when it's appropriate. And, and I just answered my husband's phone calls sitting here. I apologize, trying to make it go away, and I hit answer, so forgive me for that. But if you all would, he assured me that you have 3 men who are trained in this boat and who will be only people operating this boat. And so I was impressed with his response and applaud you for that.
It's set up to where these 3 guys, if something goes wrong, they will be held accountable. This is not a piece of equipment that gets moved around. So there's accountability directly. They know this. And, you know, in our conversations with a lot of DPW, because what we try to do is to become super efficient. And so we'll be coming to you with some other ideas in the future about storm cleanup and things like that on particular machinery. And when you talk to any operator or master operator, just give me the right machine, and I can do just about anything. So we're trying to take that input from them and saying, okay, well, let's be reasonable within the budget, but let's make sure that we try to get you all the equipment you need to do the job. Also in our quarterly, which I'm gonna run behind because of April, but hopefully not in April, but May's meeting, we'll have those photographs. I'm hoping to have this particular machine in action, showing you the services it's providing to the public.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Ogeron.
Thanks. I was just wondering, are we going to still have those Friday fish fries that you had promised, if we all agree to this?
Well, Saturday, river cleanup, I'll see if I can get you some fish.
There we go.
Any other questions? I just have, I think it's, what, 8 by 12 is the dimensions, I think, 8 by 12. Is it trailerable, or is it gonna have to be just paddled or driven to a different location?
It's not a very fast machine. It's mostly run on hydraulics, so you do have to take it to each location.
Okay.
I think just the maneuverability of it in tight areas, as well as the different attachments on the front, whether it's pulling up that LSU sawgrass that you see that's encroaching in our canals, which is a problem, or picking up big logs, but certainly the trash component of that basket, being able to grab large size of that, bring it to the shoreline too, so we can get it out of the canals and into the proper containers to be hauled off.
Good.
Fantastic.
I did talk to Ron about that, about the movability of it. He said that it does go through a boat launch, but he said if they can't, it's got eye holes that he can pick it up with a crane and drop it in wherever he needs to.
Okay.
So it's a pretty amazing little
is.
little gadget.
It's amazing.
Look, y'all can't get me to ride on a dozer, but I'm happy to go boat riding.
I'm gonna work on that.
I'm kidding, I really am.
All right. I got a motion and a second.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Any objection? That motion carries. Item 6, purchase of 2 new 2022 Freightliner pump tanker trucks, state contract number 4400017741 for Fire District Number 1. Citizens Martin Emergency Group LLC, $337,737.73. That's a lot of 3s and 7s. Please.
Motion.
Just to reiterate.
Motion by Councilman Mason, second by Councilman Robert. Any other questions? Any discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilman
Go
Mason, second
Zags.
by Councilman Ogeron. Vote adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Have a nice evening.